Okay.
Okay.
There you go. We are live.
What's up, everyone? Nice to be back.
I had a little problem going on right now. In fact, actually, I wore you're welcome back shirt.
My hated shirt.
Rival.
So yeah, a lot of questions. So WagerTalk wants me to address why I was gone. Just give me 1 minute here. So on a previous show, I misstated my record. I said I was what did I say? I was plus 20 units in baseball, which was incorrect. I was actually plus 20 units all sports. So for that reason, misstating my record, I got suspended. No pay, no show, no nothing for 13 days. So yeah, it was not fun, but I'm back now. So help a brother out and buy Brian and my double play so I can get some money back and pay some of my bills now. Anyways, it's just a testament to how serious WagerTalk takes honesty and transparency in this industry. So, and I broke the coveted rules. So I will be careful not to do that again. But while I was gone, I actually went on a 10-1 run. And yesterday I was ranked number 1 in the last 3 days amongst all WagerTalk cappers. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to sell those picks to anyone. So how are you doing, Brian?
I'm doing fine. And I'm glad you brought that up. It was clearly not done on purpose. It was a slip of the tongue. We all do it. Well, we don't do it we do it in things other than that. But yeah, I'll say stuff sometimes off the top of my head and it's not completely accurate. We've got to be able to do a better job of doing that. And it's not like I'm doing it with my records, but I do it I have done it with some names and things. So we try to do our best. We're not perfect. We're not on ESPN. So keep that in mind. We're not trying to put anything around over your heads or anything. It's just sometimes people make mistakes and, you had to pay for it. Unfortunately, Trig and I had to pay for it too because we couldn't bounce anything off of you. And we had some struggles last week. So, I'm definitely glad to have you back. As for Trig, he had an appointment, doctor's appointment, I believe. We as we get older, we got to have these things done. And we're going to have certain days we're going to miss once in a while because we've got prior commitments. I've had to do it. Trig has to do it today. That's just the way life is. We put in 6 days a week out of the 7 for you guys. So we can't do it all the time. Can't be around all the time, but we'll do our best when we are here.
So that's seriously why I wasn't here. I made a mistake stating my record, and they take it pretty seriously here. So it cost me a pretty penny. So I'm back now, and I won't be doing that again. So, and they wanted me to make a point that I'm not the first capper to get suspended. Prez was actually the first one to get suspended. So
he's one of the
nobody's above the law. Nobody's above the law. And man, I paid a serious hefty price. It's pretty tough sitting on my fingers watching you guys, or sitting on my hands watching you guys do the show. But I'm back now.
Here we go.
So let's get into baseball, guys. By the way, the double play, I'm back. So now I'm eligible to sell the double plays, and I have 3 MLB plays up today on my WagerTalk page, and I'm sure Brian will later. It's 6 a.m. for him right now, so he probably doesn't have anything out yet. It's a small card, but there are some things that there are definitely some things to like here. So why don't we get into it? First game on the board. So instead of taking your suggestions, we'll just go down because I think we'll be able to cover all these games. Don't you think? Probably.
Yeah, we will. We'll just try to take them in order, and hopefully it'll answer all of your questions.
So Angels, Guardians. The Guardians screwed me yesterday. I had them yesterday, and they played very listless baseball yesterday against the Twins. So how are you seeing this one with Cantillo?
Yeah, I actually watched that game, and it was not a pretty sight if you're a Cleveland fan. Cantillo on the mound here. Let's take a look at the quick line. Cantillo on the mound, the lefty. He's about a 170 favorite right now. Totals of 8. The Angels are probably going to use an opener. It's currently undecided, and we'll try to figure out what that's going to be as we take a look at the the Angel schedule here. They're going with Urena tomorrow, so it looks like Alex Manoah may be the starter. He was very successful at one point for the Toronto Blue Jays and had that one magical season. But other than that, he hasn't done a whole lot. I'm assuming he's going. I'm looking at the roster resource right now. They've got him listed as a starter, and he's been pitching out of the bullpen in the minors. And so he's probably only going to pitch about an inning or two, and then they'll go with the bullpen. From the bullpen standpoint, they are in pretty good shape. Yesterday, Zephyr, who is the closer of the moment for this team. A lot of these bad teams, they switch up every day, but he and Bachman pitched yesterday, 15-5 pitches. The day before that, they didn't pitch at all. So, yeah, the bullpen looks like it's in pretty good shape for a bullpen day here for the Angels. From an offensive standpoint, they've got one guy in the last week that is hitting in the top 100, and that's Joe Adell, who hit 2 home runs, I believe, either yesterday or the day before. So he's at 97, but the rest of the team is mid-range. Nobody's hitting well, and a couple of guys are struggling right now, but including Josh Lowe, who's been a major disappointment for them in the trade earlier this season. But for the Angels, it's a team that I somewhat like a little bit. They hit lefties better than they do rightly, slightly, about 102 to like a 97 WRC plus. Cantillo's the guy. If you haven't seen him very often, he is very hard to hit. He is not a guy who's going to blow you away with his fastball, but he's got a great curveball and keeps you off balance a little bit. And Cleveland's a team right now, though. I don't like the way they're playing. They're just not playing well right now from a hitting standpoint. I've talked about this in the past. Their best hitter, Jose Ramirez, has been in a season-long slump. Even with that, he's still rated as the 20th best hitter in baseball. But if you were drafting coming into the season, he was a top 5. So he's not been very good. His batting average is about 210, popping up too much. That's always been his problem. The only guy that's been very consistent all season long is Chase DeLauer. He's been very good. And right now, Travis Bazzano, the number 1 draft choice from 2024, he is up and he's starting to hit. He's not having a lot of overall success, but he's hitting the ball hard, and that's something we'd like. So Cleveland's probably going to get this victory, but I don't want to lay this big number with Cleveland right now. They're just not hitting well enough for me to back them. And so I'll be probably on the sideline on this one. What do you think, Brandon?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Cantillo doesn't have a sample size large enough against these batters for me to make a good decision. And Angels not having anyone listed as a starter tells me it's going to be a bullpen game. I've got their bullpen in current form ranked 17, where I got the Guardians ranked 20. So they do have a better bullpen than the Guardians in current form, at least. But like I've said many, many times, and like you pointed out on a previous show while I was gone, thank you for keeping me in mind, that I don't like X factors. And so there's way too many X factors here. I got the Guardians hitting 13 and I got the Angels hitting 23. So I guess the Angels are kind of like Trout. If Trout's hot, the Angels are hot. And if he's not, because he's been ice cold and the whole team seems to be ice cold right now. So I don't know. I mean, maybe an under here, but with both bullpens around mediocre or sub-mediocre, but I got both lineups sub-mediocre too. So yeah, a lot of conflicting arrows here. So I'm going to lay off it just like you. So I guess we can move on to the next one. Yeah. Sure. You don't have any other thoughts on that?
No, that's it.
So Adam's our normal host. So now Brian and I are going to kind of share the hosting, and neither one of us are really used to it or good at it. So we're just going to kind of bounce things off each other until Adam comes back. A lot of you guys say Adam talks too much, but actually he's a really good host.
Yeah,
so
he is. He does talk a lot, but you get good information from him. Yeah,
he certainly talks a lot. So the next game we're going to talk about is Yankees and Orioles. We got Weathers versus Young, and Young is a guy that I know you and Adam have said you like. His numbers so far are not as good as Weather's numbers, but he's 3-1 with a kind of inflated ERA. So, and he's facing one of the hottest lineups in baseball. So, how are you going to look at this one?
Yeah. First of all, I forgot to do the weather. Progressive Field's blowing in probably about a 17% less runs in that game. Oriole Park, and this one's blowing left to right, minus 11%.
Speaking of weathers.
Yeah. Want to take a look at that. And by the way, it wasn't me that was talking about the pitcher for Baltimore. That was all Trigg, and I gave it to him a little bit when they got bombed, because the next time out he looked after he talked him up a little bit. He got bombed, but he's not that bad. But he was a big fan. But yeah, we've got Weathers going against Young. Current line in this game is about 170. I'm seeing in the 170 range right now. It's very early. I'm anywhere from 163 up to 180. So keep in mind, these are all very early lines. They're going to change, and I'm trying to give you a pretty good idea of where it is right now as we do the show, because if you watch it again on replay, you may look and you'll go, why did they like that game? And then it's nowhere near the line. As the day goes on, there's going to be games that are going to come into our range. There's going to be games that leave our range. So these are our best estimates at this time of the day. So just keep that in mind. But Weathers against Young here, and the total is 9. Yankees finally get a good hitting ballpark, although, like I said, the wins may have something to do with that. But Weathers has been off to a really good start this season. If you take a look at what he has done, from WRC Plus on the season, it's a lot now. It's a lot. The reason why I like WRC Plus is because 100 is league average. And if you take a look at WRC Plus right now for the season, you got the Dodgers in Atlanta at 120, and you've got the New York Mets at 81. So they're all within basically 20% of league average. And with 30 teams, your league average is 15 and 16, and we're getting 199. So that's exactly the way it's supposed to work out. And so that's why I use that number as opposed to some others. But the Yankees right now, the top of the order is doing pretty well. Although Ben Rice just come back from injury. He's been back for 3 days, first base a couple of days, DH another. So it's going to take him a while to get going. Frank Grisham, people are going to look at that. The old timers are going to look at batting average. He's not a batting average guy. You take a look at what he's done all the season overall for hitting. He's ranked 73rd in baseball. He's having a really good season, and but he's more of an OBP guy. He's going to get a lot of walks, and his batting average is bad. But he's been excellent for them all season long. Ben Rice, we all know about it. He's been a top 10 hitter all year. Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge, and Bellinger, as I talked about the other day, he was the hottest hitter in baseball. So the top of this Yankee lineup has been doing very well. McMahon's actually hitting, and I was never been much of a big McMahon fan, but he's hitting. So Spencer Jones and Austin Wells bringing up the rear. Spencer Jones is an all or nothing guy. We saw it yesterday. He only struck out one time yesterday, so that's pretty good from him. Austin Wells is more of a he takes the catcher position. He's one of the better guys that are going to give you a lot of innings. He's in there a lot, but he's never been a whole lot of much of a hitter. But I like the situation for the Yankees. The only thing I don't like is the bullpen. And we've got because the Yankees have been right there in these last couple of games. They've used the back end of the bullpen pretty heavily. Bedard the last 2 days has been used. I'm not so sure how long he's going to remain the closer. He's just not the same pitcher as he was years ago in Pittsburgh. Fernando Cruz has thrown 30 pitches last 2 days. Tim Hill's threw 14. So they're going to need a pretty good game out of their starter. And I think Weathers are going to give it to him. On the season, he's ranked 47th at pitching. Cam Schlittler, by the way, is number 1 in Major League Baseball. He's just been fantastic on the season. Yep. But the Yankees are a team right now that are one of those your fee type of things. Yes, score first inning. If you're interested in that, I could see that, because once again, this is a much better hitter's park than what they've had. Baltimore is a team that has not lived up to preseason expectations. They've got Brandon Young going today. He's ranked 154th on the season. Still better than Chris Bassett. Still better than Shane Baz, but that's not saying much. Bradish came out, pitched a great game the other day. Still have major concerns about this Baltimore pitching staff. I may look to attack this one by playing the Yankees team total over. Let's see what we've got right here. We're looking at 4.5 to the over at minus 135. So they get 5 runs. You've got a victory here, and the total is 9, and they're a pretty decent favorite. So if I'm looking to play this game, my early look would be the Yankees against Young, having some success here. The Yankees are a hot team, especially at the top of the order. And that's the way I'm looking for. I think the Yankees score 5 runs in this game. What do you think there, TB?
Pretty much on the same page as you. You did mention that the before I get into that, WagerTalk's doing a bunch of specials, not just the double play for Brian and myself, Adam, and Brian, but also there's a 3 days for 30% off special that they're doing. And I saw someone in the comments saying, if your picks are so great, why do you have to sell them to make money? Because that's like asking a stockbroker why he sells his advice to people. Why doesn't he just invest in his own stocks? Why not share your knowledge with people and make more money? Why not? Right. That's kind of a silly argument.
Yeah. Why do professional baseball players do commercials? Why do they do autograph signings?
Yeah.
They've got a whole lot more money than we have. If there's a demand, you fill it. And there's a demand for this. So I agree. That's always been a crazy.
Why do you design houses? Yeah. Why do you design houses for other people? Why don't you just build your own house?
Build your own house, live there. Yeah.
Okay. Anyways. So, and also we get limited when we win. So, there's that. And,
especially
share your knowledge and spread it around.
Yeah. These smaller baseball leagues that you play in. Yeah. You get limited quick. You can't get what you want in it.
Just wanted to address that. And Adam in the chat talking about his colonoscopy. Colonoscopy was probably the most uncomfortable 10 minutes of my life that I've ever had. So good luck, Adam.
It's most uncomfortable is the day before when you're doing the prep. For anybody who's never had a colonoscopy, it's nothing. You just lay down.
Okay.
You fall asleep.
Let's get on to the Yankees. You mentioned that their bullpen is a little worn out. And it is, but I'll take a worn out Yankees bullpen over a healthy Baltimore bullpen any day. And I got Baltimore's bullpen ranked 26th out of 30. Yankees hitting number 1. And I don't like Brandon Young's his peripheral stats don't make me optimistic about how he's going to perform here today. So I'm totally with you. I would take a Yankees team total over. They're on the road, so they're going to get 9 innings of at bats. And this starter plus this raggedy taggedy bullpen, I think the Yankees should be able to soar over 5, in my opinion. So I would be with you on that one. Let's move on to the next game. And we'll just go in order. It looks like the Rays and the Blue Jays. So we've got Rasmussen going against Gaussman. So 2 really steady, rock solid pitchers here. And Tampa Bay's been on a tear. I don't think anyone expected them to be hitting like this. I think most people expected the Blue Jays to be hitting like Tampa Bay's hitting, but they're not. So how do you see this one shaking out?
Why don't you take this one, and then we'll just switch off that way. If I'm saying something that you are going to say doesn't look like I'm dominating the conversation, so we'll kind of switch off on these. That way,
sure. That's nice of you. So I made a free play video for WagerTalk's YouTube site because I'm allowed to make videos now, and I made one today. And hang on, someone just made a comment. TV, where are your last 10 picks given to clients? Yes, I did give my last 10 picks to clients while I was suspended. So I was able to give my plays to my clients, but I wasn't allowed to sell them as picks on the site. So just to clarify that. I'm clarifying. I'm not going to make anything ambiguous anymore. I'm not getting suspended for 2 weeks for misspeaking anymore. So let's take a look. So I made a free play video on this. It's probably not on WagerTalk's YouTube site yet, but it will be there very shortly. And what I basically said is Gaussman is the big name here because he's the household name, but Rasmussen's been actually pitching better than him. I have Rasmussen on a curve of 30, ranked 7, where I got Gaussman ranked 11. And if you look at the head-to-head stats for how he's performed against the batters he's about to face, an OPS under 750 and a batting average around 212 for Rasmussen. Gaussman has a batting average against these batters over 300, although his OPS is a manageable 750. Tampa Bay, they've been hitting actually mediocre. I got them ranked 14 in current form, but I got the Blue Jays 19. And both bullpens negligible in the top 10. So, I would go with Tampa Bay with plus money here. I don't see any pitfalls about them returning home with no rest or any kind of those situations, or as Marco likes to say, sandwich spots or anything like that. So, I think Tampa Bay would be the way to go on this one.
Yeah, I do want to point out that sometimes Tokyo Brandon's picture is freezing. A lot of that has to do because we got on here late and we didn't have a chance to test everything out. That will be corrected next time out. So we don't have to worry about that. But the voice is coming out clear, and that's really, we don't need to look at that guy. We get arrested for looking at that guy on the street.
I've been arrested. No, I'm just kidding.
I make fun of the way he dresses all the time, but it is cool. Everybody likes that. Okay. Tampa Bay, there's a reason why they're winning, and that's because of their pitching. If you take a look at their starting pitching, everybody's been doing very well. Griffin Jacks is now turning into a starter. He's been doing very well. Take a look at this bullpen. This bullpen, the last 14 days, here are the numbers based on roster resource over at Fangraphs. Number 1 bullpen arm in baseball, Brian Baker, number 1. Cole Sulser, 14. Ian Seymour, 10. Kevin Kelly, 16. Clevenger just came back from the DL IL about a week ago, 66. Hunter Biggie, 30th. So everybody in this bullpen is pitching out of their mind. Their starting pitching is being great. And the hitters are doing what they're doing. The only guy in the offensive lineup that hasn't been hitting is Palacios. Everybody else is in the top 200. So they're scoring enough runs to get the victories, and their pitching has been excellent. And that is something that smaller market teams like a Cleveland and Minnesota, St. Louis doesn't spend a whole lot of money. They're actually in a rebuilding mode right now, but a lot of those teams are being competitive. Milwaukee, I mean, these are the teams I love to bet because they're not your big name teams. They're not the Yankees. They're not the Dodgers, and you could find value on them. So I agree. The Tampa Bay team right now is doing very well. The line in this game right now for Gaussman is about 125, and the total is 7.5. And Gaussman's been very consistent all season long. He's very good, but Toronto's been somewhat of a disappointment. How do you not look to back Tampa Bay in this game? Yeah, we're not getting a ton of comeback in this game, but we don't need it. We can get upwards of 115 out there. You can at least get 110 anywhere. Yeah, I think Tampa's the side to be in this game, and we'll see if I use that as my parlay part. But I think Tampa Bay for myself is the way to go here.
So we're kind of agreeing on a lot of stuff today. We know what happened last time we did.
Well, when 3 of us agree, you run to the hills. But with 2 of us on here, we don't really know.
True, very true. So and you and I are, you and I win quite a bit. So we're probably giving good advice, and would be a good time to take a double play for Brian or myself or Adam. 2 of us 3 days. Huge discount. Or if you only want to take one of us, 3 days for 30% off. That deal is running on every capper's page at wagertalk.com right now. Help a brother out. So let's get on to the next one. We got the Diamondbacks going against the Rangers, where we got Soroka, ex-Brave, going against Nate Eovaldi. And you want to take this one first?
Yeah, I'll take this one.
Go for it.
All right. We are going. This is the only interleague game of the day. By the way, tomorrow is $2 or $5 Tuesday, and the card looks bigger tomorrow, and there's a lot more choices, and so keep that in mind for tomorrow. Let you know ahead of time. A lot of people have good plays up for $5. All right, Soroka is going against Eovaldi. Eovaldi at home for Texas is about a 130 favorite. Total of 7.5. We've talked about this from a pitching standpoint. Texas has been one of the best. Right there with Met Stadium is one of the two best under places in Major League Baseball, and they've been very good at going unders once again this year. And that's the way I would take a look at it. Is Eovaldi is stumbled out of the gate a little bit, but he's really been he was excellent his last start. Soroka, I've always liked him better than what a lot of people do, and he's been pitching very well for Arizona. Arizona is a good team when they're playing in a good hitter's ballpark. I like the offense, but in this ballpark, going against Eovaldi, I think this is going to be a pitcher's battle. When you're taking a look at Arizona's offensively, nobody in their entire offense in the last 7 days is hitting in the top 100, so you don't have a really hot bat. Everybody's been pretty mediocre. I mean, nobody's been terrible. So they're in pretty good shape here. From the bullpen standpoint, they're also in pretty good shape here. Sewald pitched 2 days ago, got the save, 17 pitches. Yesterday they did have to use Murillo a little bit, 9 pitches. But, hey, they've got a full bullpen that's available in this one. So, yeah, I kind of like the under in this one. And when you take a look at it from the other point of view, which would be the home team, you're looking at what they have done as of late. The Texas offense, they've had a couple guys that are starting to hit pretty well. Ezekiel Duran has come out of nowhere this year after they basically gave up on him last year. He's hitting well. Josh Young is hitting well, and Evan Carter. So these are 3 guys that they really didn't count on coming into the season as being big offensive guys. I know Evan Carter was a guy who looked really good when they brought him up a few years ago. Looked good in the playoffs when they were on the run, and he'd been disappointing. But if you look at the guys that, Corey Seager's a guy that they really need. He's hitting 309, so he hasn't been very good the last few days. Brandon Emo, 287. So the guys they really count on, Jake Berger, 236, they're not getting what they have gotten in the past. So, Texas, I'm not a big believer in their offense. And from a pitching standpoint, Jacob Latz had to be used yesterday. He got the save, 20 pitches, but he hadn't pitched this last Wednesday. Where he threw 21. So he's available, and their entire bullpen is available. So I like the under in this game. Good pitching environment with 2 guys I like from a pitching standpoint, and it's under 7.5, and you can get them at -110. You can get it basically even money anywhere. -110, you can even get +100 at a certain couple of places out there. So, that's why I'm looking at this one, a low-scoring game. And let's see if we can all learn something from TB in this one.
I appreciate you guys in the comments. You guys are awesome. Someone said TB is very hardworking, intelligent, and competitive. I don't know about intelligent. You'd have to ask everyone who knows me about that one. But I do work kind of hard. I'm a little loose with my numbers sometimes, which got me in a little trouble. Hey, what are you going to do? Won't make that mistake again. So I'm kind of with Brian on this one, because if you look, neither team is hitting really well right now. Like both of these teams, I have them in current form hitting less than 25 out of 30 teams. And if you look at the head-to-head stats for the pitchers, like Eovaldi has dominated these Diamondbacks. Well, not exactly. He's got a 275 average against an 813 OPS, but that's not great. But Soroka has dominated these Ranger batters. Keep in mind, though, that's when Soroka played for the Braves probably, and he was a little bit better pitcher back then than he is now. But like Brian said, everything's conducive to an under here. And I just looked at a couple of sites, and a couple of them have the first 5 innings under 4.5. I don't really see these teams scoring 1 run per inning in the first 5. I don't see it. Eovaldi's been pitching great, even though his OPS against these batters is over 800, which is generally not good. 750 is kind of the line for me. But I think under 4.5 in the first 5. So I'm kind of along the same lines as Brian. Any kind of under you can get. Both teams' team totals are 3.5. So maybe under for one of those, depending on which bullpen is performing well. And right now, Arizona's bullpen is performing better than Texas's, in my opinion. So maybe Texas under 3.5, but which Soroka are you going to get, Jekyll or Hyde, right? So under in some capacity would be how I would approach this one as well. So again, we're agreeing a little too much, even though you're wearing that burnable shirt today, Brian. Did you really wear that on purpose because I've been gone for so long?
I wore it on purpose to light a fire. Yes.
I thought you were nice.
I'm a troublemaker. What can I say?
Didn't we jam to Iron Maiden in your electric car?
We're friends. There's no doubt about it, but you pick on your friends. You bust the ball. That's what we do.
Brian,
I will point out, we've only got 2 games that we haven't talked about, and we're getting low on time here. So we're trying to keep this under 45 minutes. So we got 10 minutes to do 2 games and come up with our things. So we probably should pick it up a little bit.
Got it. Brian drives an electric car and we were jamming to Iron Maiden in it. But anyways, we got Seattle going against the Astros, Kirby and Lambert. So I guess I'll take the lead on this one. Lambert, I trust Kirby a lot more than I trust Lambert. Seattle, the problem is Seattle's not hitting well. They're ranked 24 out of 30. So will Lambert wake their bats up or not? That's the question. This is conducive to an under as well, but you gotta trust that Lambert's going to pitch well. He's got a 2.4 ERA, but I think that's a little fugazi. I don't think he's actually that good. I might take a Seattle team total over in this one. I don't like the Astros bullpen, and I don't like Lambert's numbers against these batters. So if anything, I'd probably take a Seattle team total over. That's not my parlay leg yet. We will get to that in just a moment. But yeah, that's probably how I would go in this one. How about you?
Other than Luis Castillo, the rest of the starters right now are pitching very well. I've given Gilbert a little bit of question marks because of his health, but no, he was great yesterday. I mean, they're on Saturday. So yeah, they're pitching very well. The bullpen, Munoz is their closer, but he hasn't really pitched since last Tuesday. Trying to get him give him a chance to relax a little bit because he hasn't been pitching as well. But still, he's one of the best closers in baseball. If you take a look at it, he's top 5 closer in baseball. Unless there's anything physically wrong with him, I think he'll be back and he'll be fine. Ferreira and Bizzardo had to pitch yesterday. Bizzardo may not be able to go today, but other than that, the bullpen's in pretty good shape. And yeah, Seattle, the guys that Seattle are really counting on, Josh Naylor's starting to hit up, and Julio Rodriguez has been a pretty good run right now. So overall, the hitting's been pretty good, but Donovan's coming back from injury. It's taken him a little bit time to get back, but really, Cal Raleigh is what has really hurt Seattle from an offensive standpoint this year. He had that amazing season last year. People were taking him in fantasy baseball in the top 10 hitters in baseball because you rarely get a catcher that does that. Well, they're not in first place if they did because he's having a terrible season. But I don't have an answer as to why it's happening. We'll have to see. But Seattle on the road here against Houston. Houston's a team coming into the season I thought we could make some money on, and we have been able to make some money on them. From an offensive standpoint, they're okay. They've only got one guy in hitting in the top 100, and he's a bench player that's only in there because their starting shortstop is hurt. From that standpoint, they are getting some of these guys back. Pena is about to go out on a rehab situation. Correa looks like he's out for the season, but they got some bats coming back. Ender Diaz, unfortunately, got hurt. So they're running with a little bit of a lower amount of players on this team than what they expected to start the season. So that's something that you would expect them to score a little bit less runs on. And, from a bullpen situation, Brian King right now is probably the guy they're using, although they've got their major guy is starting to pitch a little bit he may be back in a couple of weeks, and Hader. So that'll be a big comeback. And Abreu struggled early. He pitched a couple of days ago. He pitched on Saturday. Small sample size. He looked much better from what I understand. And they've got some other guys that have some talent in the bullpen. So if I'm looking at this game, I'm looking at the under. Neither team offensively has been really knocking the ball around. Lambert is not a guy I believe in overall, but hey, in the short term, he's pitching very well. Kirby's going to get a good game here. We're looking at an 8.5 in Houston. Pretty good hitters ballpark, but if I'm playing, it'll be of a pitching variety, looking to play either a team total under or the under overall.
So thanks for all your comments, you guys. I did on my Twitter X, which is down there. I've already put out my pitcher outs projections for today. So take a look at Tokyo _ Brandon and see where I have the pitchers ranked. And Danzo, it looks like you changed your icon or your avatar there for I almost didn't recognize you. So we got one game left, which is going to be the Dodgers and the Giants. And I do not have a read on this at all, so I'm going to be very quick. All I'm going to say is Sasaki games generally go over because he comes out in the fourth inning and the Dodgers bullpen generally blows up. And for some odd reason, the Dodgers usually score for him when he's pitching, but he always loses. That's kind of how it goes. But they're facing a team that ranks dead last in Major League Baseball in hitting and close to dead last with their bullpen. The only way I would see this would be going over. But do I want to take San Francisco with their horrible lineup to go over? Not sure. So I'm definitely laying off this. Do you see any actionable direction here?
Yeah, Trevor McDonald came up. He pitched pretty well the other day. In fact, very well the other day, but they sent him back down. And then their best pitcher just got hurt in Logan Webb. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. So he made that quick trip to the minors and then the quick return trip back to the majors. So he's a guy that they do like. He's their organization's 8th best prospect. So there's some excitement for Trevor McDonald, but I don't expect him to pitch that well against this offense. Sasaki's a guy I've been fanning pretty much all year long, and we've been talking about it. But to his credit, he has been pitching a little bit better as of late. If you take a look at him on the season, they got him rated at 185 overall, but in the last 14 days, he's a 118. Great? No. But serviceable, yes. And from an offensive standpoint, obviously, the Dodgers are a much better hitting team. San Francisco, you got to keep in mind that San Francisco is probably the hardest place to hit at because even if the wind's blowing out, does not mean you're going to hit more home runs. So this is a terrible place if you're a home run hitter. They brought up Bryce Eldridge, the big home run hitter. He's got the power to get it out of the stadium, but there's not a lot of guys that do. And that's been a problem for San Francisco. So this is a good hitter's ballpark for home runs, Dodger Stadium. So the offenses have a little bit more success here than in the past. You're looking at 180, 185 here for the Dodgers. You're looking at a total of 9.5 to the under. If they score 10 runs in this game, you're getting pretty much even money, plus money. So I think the offenses are going to have a little bit better day here. I prefer the over in this one. Are you ready for your parlay here?
Yeah. Could you imagine laying minus 190 with Sasaki on the mound? Ouch.
It was higher than that earlier in the season, and people are starting to learn a little bit. But those don't last all season long, unfortunately.
I'd rather have Adam's colonoscopy than do that. My favorite Iron Maiden song is Wasted Years or Power Slave. Those are my two favorite. What's yours?
I like The Trooper. I like The Ancient Mariner. There's so many. I just saw their documentary. It was out in the theaters last week.
Yes, you did.
Here in the States. It was good.
It was good. So if you don't know, Brian and I are both headbangers. We love heavy metal, anything 80s metal, new metal, anything we like. I've been listening to Rammstein lately.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Okay, so on to the parlay. I don't want to steal yours, but I think I'm going to take the Yankees on the money line. I think that seems like it makes the most sense. So I'll do that. They're minus 175.
You
So
can
I'll
get
get
them.
those.
Yeah, you can get them as low as 170, but yeah, I think right now you can get them as low as 165. So 170 is fine. 170 is
Yeah,
fine, and you give the okay to 180.
yeah.
So 180 is the highest out there right now.
There's a couple of totals I like too, but for you guys for the parlay, I just like to throw out a money line. So yeah, that's where I'm going to go.
Okay.
How about you?
Since you used that one, that would take me off of the Yankees team total. I don't want to have it lined up in the same game.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I can use one of the others. Let's go with the Arizona-Texas game under. I have confidence in Soroka in this good pitching ballpark. Eovaldi's in his prime, and neither team are really hitting that well. So we're getting 7.5, and that's 7. If you've ever watched a lot of other handicappers on this site, they will talk to you about how key number 7 is. Teams can win 4-3. You're not getting a push. You're getting a win here. So let's take this Arizona and Texas under, and it's you can get it at a little bit less than 110, but let's just go 7.5 flat. So we'll go under 7.5 minus 110, along with the Yankees minus 170 or so. And that'll be our parlay today.
Sounds good.
Do it,
guys. Grab a double play. 2 of us 3 for 3 days, huge discount. Or if you just like one of us, 3 days is 30% off for any capper at WagerTalk. Tomorrow will be $5 Tuesday. So thanks for tuning in. I will be back as long as I don't say my record wrong again. And Adam will be back tomorrow, and we'll be back to normal tomorrow for $5 Tuesday. We appreciate you guys tuning in. And as soon as Brian clicks that box in the top right that says end the stream, we will be out of here. Thank you guys, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
All right. Good luck, everybody.